Hi, Anti Society. Welcome back to the Antisocial Planet. Today we are checking out Tower of God Season 2, Episode 7, and we are getting into the Urik of it all, which I'm hoping the animation will hold out enough to make this fight look at least even slightly as cool as it did in the webtoon. He's such an interesting character. I haven't explored a whole lot with him yet, so where I am in the webtoon, it's so fun to come back to this of what it was like to be introduced to him and some of the cool like framing of his character going into this. So we'll see how they do with it, and I'm excited to get to see a true Pokemon trainer in his element. In 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, the boss music starting immediately. Just on this like giant centipede thing. Bomb seems unimpressed. Valid. Honestly. Like the collateral of this fight, I'd be like, I don't want to be anywhere near it either. I don't know how I feel about the use of baby a lot in this. The use of like random English words. Yeah, teamwork. I love the tears in his eyes. Sweet prince. Team sweet and sour, go. I feel like the voice actor for Urik is having so much fun. Ooh. I love the way that the background like moved and it was warped while he like in the foreground stayed more stable. True. And he sticks to that. He's like, I don't need a throne. Nothing like a countdown to raise the stakes. Especially with the like choir vocals in the back. Ooh, with the like flower design illuminated behind him. Ooh, I even like how he had like Bomb's like long hair was like leading the movement down to him, like very reminiscent of some of the stuff that we see in the comic, right? Of the way that Siu likes to kind of lead movements with certain like design elements of the characters or the backgrounds or whatever. I feel like there's some fun like villain voice acting happening here though. I mean, if you're gonna get a character who's like eccentric and a little bit evil, you might as well have fun with it, right? Otherwise, what's the point? But I'm excited how this will turn out. We got everybody gathering. I mean, obviously I know how it's gonna turn out. Basics, but I mean in terms of how we're going to like animate it. Because there were like again, like kind of like in the last episode where I'm like, I can see moments where the budget kind of falls out a little bit, which is fine. Like pick and choose your battles of what you're gonna have that is you're gonna throw money into and what shots you're gonna be like, is this really important to put that much behind it? But I like the use of the lighting with the lightning too. There's just some cool stuff with it in terms of having some dynamic lighting. There's some cool lighting in this season in the webtoon anyway, so having the electronic music coming in too is cool. My sweet teddy bear. He never catches a break. An attempt was made. He's really not interested in any of you. One track mind. Ooh. There's some cool stuff with illuminating his eyes too. That just kind of adds to like this like almost like demonic, creepy, like otherworldly feeling to him. Yeah. Oh, my sweet boy. Yeah, I remember seeing that for the first time. I was like, oh, dang. I mean, he's alive. Yup. This scene, though, remember it very vividly. Yeah, the whole like, I remember that if it's not at least 1,000 to 1, you don't have a chance. I was like, dang. There was something crazed in his eyes. I mean, look, is he a little crazed? Yes. Do I like the whole stick it to the man and like capitalism thing? A little bit. A little bit. Mm-hmm. Such a cool image. And he was holding back. Oh boy, are some interesting things about to happen. No pressure. Oh, he looks so tiny in these flashbacks. I feel like the reassurance of I won't hurt you loses some of that reassurance when you preface it with as long as you comply. Oh. Ugh. Sweet boy. Yeah, we should get going. Also, like this. The, like red rib cage thing that he does every once in a while. With the image that we had before of like this like red skeleton that Udik like pictured behind him. So cool. I'm a little disappointed that that was over so fast, that he was like some hype to introduce him and then he was gone. Mm-hmm. Oh no, it's almost like the great houses and like families are corrupt. What? Who would I guessed? Speaking of storms. Mm-hmm. Of course they want him to have friends, but the right friends, right? Even all the way back when we were introduced to Jinsung, right? They were like, "Oh, I he came all this way to like kill you all off, so we could replace you with people who could like better support VLA." And then now it's like, "Hey, if you're gonna put him in danger, you can't be here anymore." It only works if they can use it as like leverage, right? There's two conversations happening here. I love the one-handed holding him up. Scary man told me to. That's his reason. It's not a competition. Y'all can both be. You can both be friends with him. Look at the parent energy. or hanging. Oh crap! Like they're both just like kids, kids. That proud little smile though. Oh, most definitely yes. In fact, uh, there's quite a few other things gonna happen on that particular power level. Mm-hmm. I mean, she's got some baggage with the whole, like, her family being like, wow, it's so great that you have this horrific power. She's like, I've seen the damage that my power does. And she was praised for it. Oh. Oh dear. Yeah. Her heart's in the right place, though. Oof. That's a lot to take on. You know, it's okay to ask for help. Lessons, practice. Look, you're upsetting the little ones. It always kind of baffles me people who can't cook. Like, am I a great cook? No. Do I enjoy cooking? Also, no. But, like, I know how. The chaos. Mm-hmm. I still find it so fascinating how Wainan, like, switches on and off, right? Like, the mask slips back into place, but he has all these moments of just, like, seriousness and, like, a little bit of sadness. I'm still learning about him. Don't do it. Might be. Yeah, I don't feel like you need to be so creepy with that, changing up the weather and everything. There's so much weird energy between these two. Just like me being like, I feel like y'all are like one impulsive decision away from trying to kill each other every second that they're within like eye line. Oof. So many chess pieces going on. It's interesting to see a bunch of these conversations back because I haven't gone back to it since after getting into like Hell Train stuff. And it's interesting to have like a different perspective on the conversations. I mean, you seem like a little bit in your emotions right now. Mm-hmm. At least straightforward about being like, I don't trust you. Interesting to have like trust back to back in those conversations. Things are about to get wild. Oh, look at his cute little apron. You give her a new job. Keep her out of the kitchen. Oof. Way to make a deal. With questionable sources. Not in the like she's gonna lie necessarily, but there's definitely gonna be lots of layers to why she's telling you what she's telling you. Interesting to have the parallel of how sweet as well. Here we go. The big plot point, I'm assuming, of this season. I'm assuming that that's where we're gonna end off things. I don't actually know. Unless someone told me and I forgot. But my estimate is we're gonna end off the season with everything that happens at the workshop battles. Oof. Good cutback. Ah! I mean, like, together adjacent, sort of. I'm honestly a little bit sad that Uruk was in and out of the plot, right? Like, he was here for, what, the first 5 minutes or something, and then he was out, which I get. A lot of this is just set him up as a character, right? We're powering up the kind of level of people we're going to be dealing with and like ultimately where we're going to end up. I understand that like he's more part of stories going forward as opposed to this specific moment because we're really just trying to get to like workshop battle stuff. But it does make me a little bit sad that we didn't get some more time with him because I feel like the voice actor for him was having so much fun with that character and like the performance. And I like that the way that he talks to like Violet and the other members of Team Sweet and Sour is like very different from the way that he's speaking to some of the other people. He has like a different like cadence to the way that he's speaking, which I think is like interesting too to see like how he presents himself in those two settings. But again, I can understand not making it fully about him. However, I will say that part of my thing about the last episode was I was like, I feel like it's a little bit slow pacing wise because we had the episode with Kuhn and checking in on what he was doing and that wasn't very action heavy. Then the last episode wasn't very action heavy. And then this one we have basically just the brief showdown with Uruk and then we're moving on again. And it's a lot more of like setting up information. Again, I get that we have to get a bunch of that information, but I also feel like there was probably a better way to show some of that, like overlapping some more momentum as opposed to like people sitting around talking to each other. Like there was a lot of people standing or sitting opposite and having conversations as opposed to getting to see some of that. And that makes sense in the context of a webtoon or a comic, but it doesn't translate super well to something like animation. So it just feels like we're dragging a little bit. So I hope that we figure that out a little bit better because I feel like in season 1 we had some good shots of them going through some of the like training montage stuff and then there'd be like information that we were being given as more of like voiceover stuff as opposed to just having like people like talking, and that's the extent of it. Just like little thing. It's not like a huge gripe. It's something that shows up a lot in anime and like adaptations and stuff. It's just one of those things where I'm like, I wish you would take more advantage of the fact that it is a visual like animated medium medium and find some more interesting ways of communicating some of this information that clearly we need to know. It's a little bit different for me. It's a little hard for me to gauge because I know all this information already from reading the webtoon. It's a little bit harder for me also to figure out the pacing because the reveals don't hit me because I'm like, I know, I remember. It's a little bit of a different experience for me compared to someone who's seeing the story for the first time through the anime. But I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. You can click this playlist to get to my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so next time I post a Tower of God reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.